So our question for this week is, where did we get Lent from? And the short answer is we get Lent from different sections of Jesus' life. So Jesus was crucified and then rose 3 days later during the annual Jewish feast of Passover. So even after Jesus rose from the dead and then after Jesus ascended into heaven, all of his followers would still continue celebrating every year his resurrection and his crucifixion, since that was an annual event. So they would celebrate it every year. And then ever since the beginning also, there was always a time of preparation for celebrating his death and his resurrection. So where we get the 40 days of preparation from to prepare our hearts for Jesus' death and resurrection, we get those 40 days from the part in Jesus' life where he spent 40 days in the desert. Now in the Bible, Jesus spent 40 days in the desert before starting his 3-year public ministry. He didn't spend 40 days in the desert before his crucifixion. But we took that 40 days from when he was in the desert, and then we apply it to our preparation during Lent. So that's where we get the time from Jesus' 40 days in the desert. In terms of preparing our hearts for Jesus' death and resurrection, we get that from Jesus' preaching. So there's a section where Jesus is preaching, and he's talking about our disposition of heart when we are fasting. Specifically, don't go around drawing attention to yourself when you're fasting. When he talks about prayer, he talks about not drawing attention to yourself when you pray. And then when he talks about almsgiving, he says don't draw attention to yourself when you are giving alms. So then when we prepare our heart during these 40 days, to prepare our heart, we take it from that section of Jesus' preaching where he's talking about the disposition of our hearts when we do these religious actions of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. So that's why the 3 pillars of our preparation during these 40 days is prayer, fasting, and almsgiving during the season of Lent. So thank you for the question. If you'd like to know more questions or if you'd like to see more questions, you can click on the subscribe button. God bless. Until next time.